What's up guys, welcome back to CodeVerse. In the last episode we learned about loops in C, for, while and do while. With loops we learned how to repeat a block of code without writing the same code over and over again. But there is another problem we need to solve. As our programs become bigger, putting all of our code inside main function can make the program difficult to read, understand and maintain. For example, imagine we have a program that needs to calculate an average in several different places. We could write the same calculation every time we need it, but that is not a very good approach. Instead, we can create a function for that task and simply call that function whenever we need it. And that is exactly what we are learning in today's episode. What is a function? A function is a reusable block of code designed to perform a specific task when invoked. Think of it as creating your own reusable piece of code. For example, we could have a function called say hello. Whenever we call say hello, the code inside the function can execute. So instead of writing the same instruction multiple times, we can write them once inside a function and reuse them whenever we need them. This makes our program more organized, readable, and reusable. You have actually already been using a function throughout this entire course, and that function is the main function. Every C program we have written so far has had this int main function. We have also been using other functions like printf function, scanf function, etc. The printf and scanf function are provided by the C standard library and are used to display output. So functions aren't something completely new. You have already been using them. Now we are going to learn how to create our own functions. Now what if I want to give some information to a function? For example, suppose I want to create a function that greets a specific person. I could write here name is a parameter. A parameter is basically a variable that allows a function to receive information when it is called. Now inside the main function, we can call the function like this, greet Adam. Here Adam is the argument we are passing to the function. So an easy way to remember this is parameter is the variable in the function definition. An argument is the actual value we pass when calling the function. A function can also have more than one parameter. For example, let us create a function that adds two numbers. Now that we know how to create a function, pass values to it and return a value from it, there is another thing you need to understand. That is function prototypes. Let us look at this simple example. This example works because the add function here is written before the main function. But what if we want to write our function after the main function? Now we have a clear problem. When the compiler reaches this line of code, it hasn't seen the add function yet. So the compiler does not know what add function is supposed to look like. This is where our function prototypes come in. We can tell the compiler about the function before main function. This is called a function prototype, like this. Now the compiler already knows that there is a function called add. It knows that the function returns an int and it takes two int parameters. When working with functions, you will often hear these three terms, function declaration or prototype. This tells the compiler about the function. Then there is function definition. This contains the actual code that the function performs. Then there is function call. This is where we actually tell the program to execute the function. Now it is your turn to practice. Try writing these programs. Create a function that takes two numbers and multiplies them, takes a number and returns its square. Do share your solutions or ask your questions in the comments. I will be happy to help. And that is it for today's episode. Today we learned one of the most important concepts in C, functions. We learned how to create and call functions, pass arguments, use parameters and return values. If you are following the complete C programming course, the playlist is linked in the description below. So make sure you check out the previous episode if you haven't already. And if you have the feedback about the course or something you would like me to explain differently, let me know in the comments. It helps me understand what I should improve in the upcoming episodes. In the next episode, we will move on to arrays in C. We will learn how to store multiple values of the same data type inside a single variable and how to access and work with those values. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, happy coding.